hear that? Doom, doom, I go hard in the streets. Doom, doom, I'm the heart of the streets. Let's go, come take a ride through my city life. See what my city's like. It's the city life, for some it's a shitty life. This is city living, mostly them city children. From my bedroom, see the lights of them city buildings. Ain't gotta act hard, private's my backyard. I run road out, you can call me a track star. And we a team, homie, all is one. I don't sleep until all is done. I ain't ruckus, so please don't call me Mr. 401. It's Mr. Rags, you can call me, I'm still in that 401. From where we was, look at all we become. For what it's worth, I put my all in the sun. Know that my city love it. Think I give a fuck about my city's budget, about my city's public, know how my city does it. Let me handle my city business, then I ride you outside of them city limits.
What's going on? It's your boy Mikey. Can We Keep It Real podcast? How's everybody doing, man? That song has a little background. You know, it's a local artist that passed away, so I pretty much played in respect to him. You know, rest in peace to all the people that we lost in the past. You know, football is a year-round commitment for sure. You know, and some coaches really take it to that extent. And coming up on the show, we're gonna have a coach that really does that. He did it when he was at Coventry. He brought it on to Westerly. He's the founder, the owner, Breaktrough Football Academy, Coach Dunbar.
What's up, Mikey? How you doing today?
What's up, Coach Dunbar? I apologize about that, you know, trying to get computers and stuff. You know, Wi-Fi don't work when you want it to, man. How's everything going?
Everything's good, man. Just you know, just working hard, I guess, with Breaktrough Football Academy. We're about to get started at Westerly with our summer workouts in a couple weeks. So it's gonna be a pretty busy summer for me, but you know, I kind of like it that way.
That's right. It was kind of nice seeing you go into that playoff game going against Coach Sassy, because we had talked in the past about how, you know, when you was a senior in high school, you know, he gave you that chance to go in and actually win that D1 championship. And so it must have been a good feeling coaching against him.
It would have been a better feeling if we would have won, but I mean, it was cool, you know, to go against your old high school coach, man. It's a kind of a testament to him. He's been doing it for a long time. I've learned a lot from him, and he's continuing to do a great job at St. Ray. So it was definitely a cool experience, but it would have been a lot more fun if we would have got the W.
And you as well, you move on to Westerly. You know, things could have went another way, but now we come to next season. So now you have Breaktrough Football Academy, what brought us here today. You got the 7-on-7 going on right now. I've seen a lot of these teams, a lot of good coaches, Coach Blake, Coach Nadim, you know, Coach B-Ball from Westerly, you know, shout out to Coach B-Ball. He talked very highly of you. You know, I didn't get a chance to catch up with him at some of the games.
Yeah, Charlie's a good dude from Woonsocket. He's definitely one of the coaches in the state that I'm closer to. Me, him, and Blake, we're all the same age, so we kind of stick together, as well as Mike Washington over at Central. But yeah, we got some good coaches in the league. It's gonna be real competitive. There's a lot of good players, and we got some great coaches. So I think the competition level is gonna be really high.
Yeah, shout out Coach Washington over there at Central. I ran across some old footage. I posted it of him. I think it was from one of his years. Like, that boy has some wheels. He could take off in his playing days.
Oh yeah, he was a great player, man. He was All-State, one of Central's best players in the last decade or even longer, man. He's done a great job.
Now, I think you have one of the most passionate coaches involved in this, in Coach Nadim Robinson. I see him on Facebook. I see him doing camps. I see him doing this, helping out assistant coach over there at Bishop Hendricken. What this guy puts into the game, it must have been vital for you to have him be a part of this.
Oh man, he was a vital piece, man. His team has a lot of talent. He's brought in a lot of kids from Providence. You know, the Marquise Buchanans, the Justin Densons, James L. Lassiter. You know, I can go on and on and on with the kids that he brought into the league, man. So just getting to know him a little bit, talking to him, and just seeing what he does for the kids really in the city. I know he coached with the Mount Hope Cowboys in the past. He has his own organization called Behind the Pads. I'm excited to have him on board and to be working with him.
And I think he's is he part of the Rhode Island Cowboys as well, the semi-pro organization?
I think he is the head coach. I think he's the head coach of that, yeah.
Last week we had the national champions out there, the New Milford Fire, and they actually showed Rhode Island a lot of props. They said anytime Rhode Island's mentioned in football, you know that they're going to come tough. And he said that championship is going to come back to the South Division, which Rhode Island is in it, New Milford's in it, a couple other Connecticut teams.
Man, Rhode Island has some good football, man. We got some good players, and I think now, I think there's a lot of people, coaches and just different people that are involved with the game that are helping get Rhode Island football on the map. So I'm definitely happy about that. It's not just me. It's not just Breaktrough. There's a lot of guys out there that's doing a great job of putting Rhode Island football on the map.
And I see you coaching. Some say, could he be the next Quiddy Pay in Moses, the Beast, Muses? That dude is a tank.
He's a tank, man. He's definitely a tank. I mean, even though I compete against a lot of these guys, at the high school level, I still wish all those guys the best, and I do everything in my power to help them get to that next level. So, and to help them get better. So I hope he is the next Quiddy Pay, man. That'd be great for the state of Rhode Island.
Now, shout out to Quiddy Pay. Like this, when I heard Quiddy Pay's story, I always heard he was a good kid, but you hear that about a lot of good kids, and then 3-4 months you get to know them. I mean, they're still good kids, but they're not a Quiddy Pay good kid. That kid was just different, and Coach Croft said how different he was. He was just a very humble kid.
And I think that has to do with his background, man. If you hear his story and you hear how he was raised. I'm also Liberian. I know he's Liberian. I think the culture that we're raised in, our parents come here and we're taught to work hard. And we don't really expect any handouts. We know that everything that we get, we're going to have to work for it. And I think that's something that's taught in the Liberian community. And I think Quiddy, being born in Liberia and kind of escaping the war and stuff like that with his family, I think a large part of that has to do with his character and why he's so humble. And the reason why he's the person he is today and the player that he is today.
I think growing up, I went to E.W. Flynn, and then I went to Bridgham, and a lot of my friends were from, the foreign countries that you just mentioned, like Liberia, and their parents were just the most humblest people. And sometimes I look at my neighbors throwing manure in my yard, and I was like, what a difference different cultures are, as far as respectable. So shout out to you and your culture.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
So now Coventry, you left them with a lot of good pieces, right? You don't feel any, because, they won a state championship and you've been after it. Did you think like, damn, I left too early? Is Westerly worth that chance? Because Westerly is a good job. I mean, good passion, good history.
Man, I'm happy for those guys at Coventry, man. I'm happy for the coaching staff, first and foremost. Those guys were on my staff, so it's not like I just built it by myself. No head coach is going to build a program by himself, so those guys played a part in it. I'm happy for those kids, like my guy Will Turner, Nick Carpinello, Jaden Carnival. The list goes on and on. Gavin Cooney, I can name a whole bunch of kids. I'm happy that those kids got an opportunity to win a championship. I've won championships in my life as a player. And I do believe that, hopefully one day I win one as a coach. But, I don't have any regrets with the decision that I made. Westerly's a great football program. And it's a great town. I have a lot of support there. Jamie, with my AD, Jamie Vettalino, he's somebody that I can count on. And anything I need, man, he's as invested as I am. As the head football coach, he's as invested as I am as an AD to make sure that we have a successful football program. So he wants it just as bad as I do. So I think when you have that relationship, and I had a great relationship with Chuck as well, but when you have that relationship with your AD, I think, good things are going to happen. And I think the best is ahead of us at Westerly.
No, yeah, you know what? Shout out to Jamie because, the last couple of years really being close to the football program And I mentioned it a couple times. I showed him respect on Twitter. The work that the ADs do, and not only that, he's the punching bag for everything. Like problem solver. You have a good season, you win, and it's like, why are you stressed out? It's 3 weeks after the season's over, and I'm still dealing with issues. So shout out to Jamie and all the good ADs out there, because you know what, Jamie V, he does a good job, and I don't think he deserves half of the slack he gets. So shout out to Jamie, and a lot of the other good athletic directors. But yeah, you have a great athletic director.
For sure. He's a good dude.
You had a great staff. Coach Miranda did a great job. Danny, I always like Danny as a quarterback coach. Ronnie Spizzato, I love Ronnie's, the kids love him. Even Tristan Toronto talked highly about Ronnie. Are you bringing back the same staff?
Yeah, probably. At this point, I don't see us making any changes. Those guys were good. Ronnie, like you mentioned, he's great, man. He's a really good coach, really smart guy. All those coaches, man. We have a great staff. I think we probably have one of the best staffs in the state.
And feelings aside, like I always said, I think Dwayne is one of the best X's and O's guys in the game. I'm never gonna go back on that. I'm always gonna stand on that. He's a great football coach, and his son Danny, good with the kids. So, feelings aside, I give Dwayne his credit. You know what I mean? So respect to him, shout out to him, and the rest of your coaching staff. I like, Coventry, what Coach Goodhart has, and he has a great defense. I think his defensive coordinator was with West Pennington, so back-to-back championships. But now we go forward to next season. Maybe they'll be in Division 2. Maybe they'll stay in Division 3.
I think they're going to D2.
Yeah, I think they're going to D2. I mean, you don't have to comment on this, but I think this was a horrible realignment. I have never seen a team with 25 seniors, go backwards, but that's another story. Today we're here to talk about Breaktrough Football Academy. You went back-to-back championships at Dean, and you're bringing that experience to the high school level. You got Cooney. You could take credit for him. You could take some credit for Michael Garafola. They're going to be playing together next season.
Yeah, that's going to be fun to watch, man. But, hey, man, I'm not somebody that needs credit, man, to be honest with you. I help a lot of kids that nobody will even know about, that nobody will even know that I help them. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of kids that I help out throughout the state that don't play for my school. If I know a coach, if I think a kid can play at a certain school or he'll be a good fit at a certain school, I'm helping kids all throughout the state, man. It's not just about where I'm at. It's not just about Coventry West. Obviously, I'm going to help out those kids as well. But I don't do it for the credit, man. For me, I have no regrets with my playing career. I had a successful playing career, and I'm at peace with how my career went. And I'm not somebody that's trying to live vicariously through these kids, or I don't feel like I need credit for kids that I help out. I just help kids. That's what I do. And if people want to get credit for it, that's great. If people don't notice it, that's fine too. This is what I would be doing even if nobody was watching or paying attention. I'd be doing the same thing.
I mean, you showed it in college, right? Like I said, would you have back-to-back titles, right? Wasn't you like all-conference defensive back? So, and there's a reason why your name resonates in high school football, and as far as your Breaktrough Football Academy, you're doing good by the kids, certain things that are put out there, weren't meant for you, as we already talked about, that was definitely, like I said, it wasn't even on my mind. But you know what? Everybody should get some form of credit. Even as men, I think as men, sometimes we don't know how to accept credit or give credit to other men. Men are horrible at talking to other men. So I think it's okay to take credit for your great accomplishments. As long as you're not doing it for credit, it's okay to take credit. And you know what? You're doing a lot for these kids. You know what I mean? People are always going to talk. A lot of people, they don't like me because I'll talk about things that people don't want to talk about. But you know what? They want to hear. they definitely want to hear, and you could tell by the numbers, you know. But you know, I think you're going to be a good coach up here in Westerly. You know, the old timers. I talked to Sal Morano. You know what I mean? You know, he called me. He was like, "Oh, you know, when you came into town," and I was like, "You know, yeah, he coached at Coventry, and you know the URI thing, and I think that warmed Sal right up. You know, you playing over there at URI. You know, but you're doing a good thing. Now you got also the passing league coming up, right? You want to get into that a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. So we got the 7-on-7 league that starts June 25th. Is going to be at Moses Brown. It's going to be every single Friday besides 4th of July weekend. So it starts June 25th and it ends August 6th. And we'll have that 4th of July weekend off. Games are going to be from 4:30 to 7:30. As you already saw, when we posted, we got a lot of the best players in the state. We got some great coaches. I think the environment is going to be really good. Breakthrough Football Academy, we actually have a partnership deal with Nike, so all the uniforms will be Nike. We'll have a DJ out there. We're making fun for the kids, but it's going to be a really good environment, a lot of competition, and something that I think is going to continue to grow from year to year in Rhode Island.
I mean, I think that's great what you're doing with the passing league. I think guys like you, Emerson Kilgore, you know, you're doing what you love. You're building, you know, a future for generational wealth. You know, I mean, I think it's great what you guys are doing. With the leagues, with the passing leagues. Are there too many youth, like a lot of these leagues going on? Does it get oversaturated for a small state?
I mean, I don't think so, man. I think everybody, you just got to find your niche. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I would say Breaktrough Football Academy, we target kids that want to play at the next level. Like that's basically what we focus on. You know, if a kid is in high school and he's confident, you know, like I want to play college football, I want to get to that level, then Breakthrough Football Academy is for that kid. But if a kid just kind of plays football for fun and he's not necessarily sure if he wants to play at the next level, we might not be the best fit for that kid, because a lot of the kids that we target are those kids that want to play at the next level. So I think there's a niche for everybody, man. If people are trying to help kids, I'm all for it. You know, at the end of the day, if guys are helping kids, I'm all for it.
You got kids from, like, you got Coach Blake, like I said, Coach B-Ball, and you got some good players. You know, you got Nicholas Kopp, which is an unbelievable player. Santilli, which still has another year at Coventry. Oh yeah, I mean, great kids.
Those are both my guys. So when I came in at Coventry, that was they were my first freshman class. So when I got there, Nick was coming into his freshman year. Alex was coming into his freshman year. And those guys have done nothing but get better every single year, man. And it's a joy to watch those guys continue to mature and develop on the field. And they're great players, man. Whether Coventry's in Division III or Division II, I think they'll be competitive regardless, because they got guys like that on their team.
Yeah, and shout out to Coach Kopp too. You know, I think Coach Kopp has a lot to. He puts a lot in over there, and his son does as well. Also Bishop Hedrick, Jaden Falcone, another another Rhode Island player, and Isaiah Richard, another Bishop Hendrick, Kobe Mayer. You know, plus you mixed in some Franklin Mass, some Haverhill Mass team as well.
I don't know if it's the coach. The coach coaches at Haverhill.
George Arena.
Yeah, he coaches there. He's
okay.
A guy that I know.
But a lot of these kids are traveling, so it must be worth their time. It must be worth their travel, you know. And I'm sure that they're getting a good deal over there at Breaktrough. When is the 7-on-7? Is a game tonight at 5 p.m.? Is that still going on over at? Was it at Hope
tonight?
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was tonight. I thought I seen the date was tonight.
No, it's June 25th is the start.
Oh, okay. And people can go to maybe I misread it. And people can definitely go to Breaktrough Football Academy. I know it's on Twitter, Facebook. You know, also
it's on Instagram
as well. So there you go. If somebody is there still time to get in on any of these leagues?
Unfortunately, our registration closed on June 1st because we had to get the uniform order in. I mean, kids. I mean, registration's been open since April, so the kids that wanted to be in it are in it.
So now, like I said earlier, football being a year-round thing, you're on your way to coach youth flag at this moment, right?
Yeah, I'm on my way to coach my nephew. He's 6 years old. On my way to coach this youth flag league, man. That's been challenging getting those 6-year-old kids to listen, but we're actually in the playoffs. So if we win today, we're going to be going on to the championship. So.
Oh, there you go. Was you an Intruder?
I did. I played for West Elm and Intruders growing up.
How did I know? They got a beautiful field now. I grew up over here on Waldo Street, for a little while, and I remember running down through that field.
That turf is beautiful. I remember what it used to look like, man. From what it used to look like to now, man. That's crazy.
And the job Providence is doing with all their fields, like Providence is like, and we need turf. Westerly needs turf. I've been going on and on and on about that. Definitely, a lot of these schools need turf, and it's crazy. I think Westerly is one of only 3 schools south of Warwick that don't have turf.
Really?
I could be mistaken, but I believe I heard that at one of the school committee meetings, and I think if we can get it back on the referendum, I think the voters now with the different demographics will definitely. I think they'll go for it.
Maybe we just gotta win something first and make people happy.
There we go. I don't think that's too far fetched. I know the kids that you have a great feeder program. Coach Vaca, legendary. Like, who has been around a youth program?
I've talked to Mr. Vaca a couple times. Really good guy, man. I've talked to him on the phone a couple times, and he's been nothing but helpful to me. So I got nothing but respect for him and what he's done at the youth level. I know he's built that field and kind of brought youth football into Westerly, from the beginning. He's still doing it. So he's basically dedicated his whole life to Westerly football, man. So he's a great guy.
All right, we got to get a word from our sponsors, Odyssey Group International, the groundbreaking concussion protocol, CTE prevention drug, Prevacil. Find them at odysseygi.com. I'm sure you have to run, Coach. Anything else you wanted to add?
No, sir. That's all. I'm good, man. I appreciate you for having me on. Thank you.
Hey, Stanley, anytime. Salute. You know what I mean? We'll definitely get up soon and we'll talk for a little bit. But good luck and be safe.
Thanks, Mike. Have a good day.
All right. We'll be right back. Well, we back. That was Coach Stanley Dunbar. Coach Dunbar been around a long time. I gave Coach Dunbar his share of grief. When he was at Coventry, I had him on the podcast and I asked him, a real question. I asked him, did you go down to Division 3 to win? And if you want to know his answer, go to Anchor FM, Can We Keep It Real podcast, and you'll find out. Just put Coach Stanley Dunbar in the description. So now here we go. Coventry is definitely going to go back. They're definitely going to go back to Division 2. It's going to, excuse me, I'm sorry. I just had to read a text. Shout out to the man behind the board, Ronnie Roberts, for helping me out, helping me get through this StreamYard, but I'll get it down this week. But we're gonna go back to Coach Dunbar. Coach Dunbar, a lot of people give him a lot of slack. Some people say, what has Coach Dunbar done? Some people would say body of work, but as far as a high school football coach, he played at Portsmouth. He earned enough to go to Coventry. He gets the Division 2B Coach of the Year. So he earned his spot. The Westerly job came available. He didn't waste no time. And I said it before, he took his shoes off and he ran. He ran to Westerly. He definitely took his shoes off and he ran to Westerly. And why not? Westerly is definitely a good sports school, rich with history. Them and Stonington had like some of the longest rivalries in high school history, all the way back to 1911. So Westerly has been playing football so long that Westerly High School was playing with colleges at one time. Now we're looking at Division 2. If we look at West Warwick, now, Coach Cato, I'm going to say this respectfully, right? No disrespect. I know when someone says respectfully and no disrespect at the same time, I don't know if that goes together, right? But you look at the history of West Warwick. You look at the history in West Warwick, and actually Nadim Robinson just came on in the green room. So I'm going to bring him in one moment, and we're going to talk about what he has going on over there behind the pads. Also, Breaktrough Football Academy. Nadim is like one passionate dude. I see him everywhere doing summer leagues all summer long. Really getting it done. And like I said about Stanley, football's a year-round gig, and it takes dudes like this to help these kids that ain't in it for the extra dime. They in it for the grind. So we're gonna bring Nadim in right now. Give me a second. What's up, my man?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. I'm driving, but I almost forgot. I told you I was headed to my son's game. I was like, man, I almost forgot.
It's all good. We can always, I talked to Coach Dunbar for a while. We talked about a lot he was doing. We talked about you behind the pads. He picked you up very high. And I told him, I said, this brother is one of the most dedicated dudes in the state. Like, he has no problem going at somebody if, people are coming sideways at football, and we kind of feel the same way. I come from West End, Oneyville, Minton Ave area, So, I relate to a lot of the struggles, And I see a lot of these camps, that are charging money, and it's like some kids can't afford that, but we need to try to figure ways out where them kids can afford to go to these camps, because no kid should be left out.
That exactly, Coach. Especially due to like, something as small as a price to a camp, man. Because like you got now that go to camp, these people do the same damn thing. They can do the whole thing themselves. They really, I mean, if you really ask yourself, you're paying all this money you're charging these kids a lot of money for a lot of these camps, and they can sit there, go home, get a camera, record themselves, and begin to do their own thing without even having to attend your camp. So that's one of my main goals. I'm not out here to take money from kids, man. These kids need their money. They're gonna starve through college. You know how it is going through college, living off of ramen noodles and orange juice.
No,
so,
yeah, I mean? Exactly.
I'm definitely not out here to take these kids' money, man. My wife will tell you I'm always a lot of the things that I do for the kids, it costs. Like, you know how I am. I travel. I know this stuff costs, and I'm not rich. So sometimes we do got to charge, but I always try to find the cheapest way, man. Like I'll fundraise for these kids. Whatever I can, man, just to try to put the kids in our community in a better position than what they are in right now, so.
No, definitely. I see you doing it all the time. I see you, you're on your way to New York. You're coming here. You're going there. And shout out to you. I think you should hook up with my boy Wayne the Voice Matthews. He's on Facebook. He goes to a lot of these showcases, and he tries to promote a lot of these kids down at DMV in Maryland. You know what I mean? By doing his podcast, I seem to connect with a lot of different people, in a lot of different places, and it's for the kids, I don't get nothing. I got more into this than, but some of these kids don't have a voice and some people don't have a voice.
Exactly. I try to be for these kids, man. It's a long run. You see it all the time, Mike. You see it all the time. Every time we turn around, there's some adult doing something wrong that them screw these kids out of an opportunity or a chance just to play, man. And I try to be better than that, and I'm not in the hobby of letting kids down. As an adult, as a coach, we're not here to be disappointing children, bro. That's not the goal. I know how it was to be a disappointed child all the time. A disappointed child grows up to be an aggravated man.
You ain't telling me nothing, man. Then it took me to 27 to figure out I went the wrong way. You know what I mean?
Straight up,
but a lot of people look at me as a hater, and because I'll talk about what others won't talk about. You know what I mean? And people kind of don't like that. But you know what? The numbers show. They listen. You know what I mean? They listen. But when I talk about, this kid got an award, they don't want to hear that. Like the numbers don't lie. But when I talk about what Coventry did, tried to shit can their head coach, I got 1,000 friggin' views overnight. I never got that in Rhode Island football. You know what I mean? You mentioned some controversy, people like looking out their windows. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, we see you. You know what I mean?
Messed up. That's a messed up world we live in, where you get more views. You'll get more attention if you say something going against the grain than you would promoting the accomplishment of a child. That is insane, man. That is insane.
Look at Stephen A. Smith. He made a career out of it. You know what I mean? He made a career. Right. If you think about it, look what he does. He don't give you much journalism. He just yells, and we don't give you like what he did to Kwame Brown over the years. I was like, I'm glad Kwame Brown's smoking these dudes right now. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think Kwame Brown was a bust. I think he had a raw opportunity. He went somewhere that didn't want him. You know what I mean? Like, and you had Wizard players saying that they come in to play the game. Kwame Brown's like working out. They're like, what are you doing? Oh, they've been making me do draft workouts all day. Jordan didn't like him. At 17, 18, that's tough on these kids, the self-esteem. So shout out Kwame Brown. You know what I mean? Putting people in their place.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so, what does Behind the Pads have coming out? And also, I want to get into are you still involved in the Rhode Island Cowboys semi-football league?
All right. BTP behind the pads again. We're a club, we're a club team that travels. I was finally able to put a definition on exactly what we are, man. We're a club team that travels. And like you said before about, people around, they hate, I feel the same. People are going to hate. There's nothing we can do about it. But see, one, like you said, the numbers don't lie. And that's the truth. People going to hate, but the numbers don't lie. You can hate all you want. But anytime I put a phone call out to some of the best athletes in the state, you can see by my roster, they come and they play for Coach Knob. So I could care less what an adult got to say. Only thing that matters to me is when the kids come out. When I call them, they are right there for me when I call them, man. And it just go, like I said, my team that I got, the kids that I run with, bro, I'm not new to these kids. Me and these kids been through the mud together, bro. The mud. We done traveled all over the place. We done slept in some crazy places. We done played some shout-out teams, some wild teams. We done won some tournaments. We done lost some. So I've been through the mud with the group of kids that I got, man, for real. So as far with BTP, we're just getting involved. We wasn't going to come back till 2022. But we decided to join Coach Stanley Dunbar and his Breaktrough. I really salute what Breaktrough does. I admire them. I've been watching them for years. Before I even met Stanley, I already had an idea what Breaktrough was all about. A couple of my kids played for. I can't say my kids. A couple of kids that I know played for them as well. So Breakthrough's an awesome opportunity. So when I seen he started the league, I was like, hey man, let's combine forces. Let's put the names together, man, and let these kids have some fun. But as far as us, 2022 is our main goal next year. We're really going to get on the 7v7 national circuit. We still have our 5v5 flag football. Salute to my coach, Coach Herlin Perry. That's the younger coach, Sid. Coach Herlin Perry, coaches at LaSalle. He's my 13U coach for BTP. Also our partner. I couldn't do it without him and my wife and his wife. We couldn't do it. If it wasn't for all of us, it's crazy how the four of us really put this thing together. So next year we plan on traveling on the national circuit with Pylon, Battle, catch up with Cam Newton and his CN1 guys, and we're also gonna do college tours, man. We're not just gonna go to the tournaments. We're gonna stop at the colleges that we're gonna, say for instance, if we're in Maryland doing a tournament in Maryland, which I plan on going to in the DMV, we're gonna stop at that way. Morgan, Maryland University, just take a visit through the college. I'll reach out to the athletic director. So as though we're not just going out to play games, but these kids are also getting something out of it. A lot of these travel teams in Rhode Island, these guys just travel to these games, they play these games, and the kids come home. I'm looking for more than that, man. These kids need more than just that game. That game, I've been doing that for 7 years. I've been taking kids out of state playing tournaments and traveling. Now I want them to get more out of it. So I think doing a college tour with our tournaments, wherever we go go see a college in that area, talk to people, rub elbows. Me and you both know, Mike, that's how life is, man. It's not always what you know.
Exactly. Networking,
Networking.
Man,
so I want to get
the guy that runs this this organization I'm doing a podcast to, Ronnie Roberts, he's been streaming a lot of games on his fans only page. He has a sports page. So he's been doing a lot over there on YouTube, so he also has a recruiting page, so there's a lot of people that like a diehard in the state, yourself, Emerson's knee deep, Coach Blake, shout out Coach B-Ball up there. And speaking of Cam Newton, I sent him a message and I was so surprised to see he responded. No, he responded on a post. On an inbox, I was like, I was like souped because I don't think he was a problem. I'm like, the dude really didn't have no one to throw to. Who's going to catch the ball? You know what I mean? Like, straighten that problem.
Nobody's open.
Exactly. No one's open. You know what I mean? So I think you had to stay with Cam Newton. He's a real dude. He's humble. He's down to earth. So good luck, New England Patriots. I had on last week, dude from the ECFL National Champions, the New Milford Fire. Yeah. Kenny, I believe his name was Kenny Bradley. I'm sorry, it took me a minute.
Yeah, that's my dude. I know, that's my guy.
He shouted out Rhode Island. I said, Rhode Island is in your division. he says that the title comes back to the South. So I said, what about Rhode Island Cowboys? And he said, I got to tell you, yo, he said, anytime you mention Rhode Island, they coming. And he did say he started naming players. The sound's a little messed up. I'll see if I can share it, but what a good kid. So I hope all you guys do great with the semi-pro leagues. People should back up these semi-pro leagues because it's not cheap, and they put on a great show, and they still do a good thing.
I definitely got to salute Eric Hamlin. Eric Hamlin is the owner of the Rhode Island Cowboys. He's the owner. He's also the quarterback, the big, tall quarterback guy. I got to salute for what he does, man. He started this, and it's the only semi-pro team in Rhode Island. So at this point, he created a place for us. We got a lot of young guys that come out of high school and don't necessarily go to college, or they have that summer. They still need to stay competitive and stay lit. He's supplying that for a lot of these guys, man, and it's free. There's no team dues. Buy your uniform, get your equipment, and come play, bro. He's not charging you nothing else. So I definitely salute Eric Hamlin for what he does, man. That's major for that age group. You think about guys that are 18 to 25, man. There's a lot of them, a lot of studs too. We got Marquise Monroe, Carlos Negron. A lot of guys play for the Rhode Island Cowboys, man.
Salute to that, because so it's even more for people to help Mr. Hamilton sponsor the Rhode Island Cowboys. We got kids coming out of school, and my beef has always been is that we're not teaching our kids how to get recruited. It's the same. Oh, don't call them; they'll call you. And recruiters say that's so 1987, so I think a lot of these high schools really need to start figuring out a way to also put that in, try to teach these kids how to get recruited to these colleges.
Yep, and then guys that necessarily didn't do well with their grades, with semi-pro, give you a chance to stay in shape. Then you could try for something overseas, try for something in Canada. It just, semi-pro, people knock it, but you got to realize a lot of these kids from 18 to 25, they need that place. They still need that place to stay in shape and stay competitive. And it's awesome. Like right now, the position I am with coaching, I think I'm blessed because I just got finished coaching 10U. I got a high school 7v7 team, and I coach semi-pro. So I'm seeing young men at all ages, bro. I'm seeing them from 10 years old to 14 to 17 to 20, 21. You know what I mean? I think I'm really blessed because I'm able to see it. I just think I'm really blessed to be in the position I'm in and to be able to coach the athletes I've coached come out of the state of Rhode Island. And for a guy, I'm not even from Rhode Island, bro. I'm from New Jersey.
Word, Brick City, yo! Shout out outsiders, yo.
I'm not even from here, Mike. Like, look, man.
And these kids know, cross that line, I'll put my foot up your butt. You know what I mean? Like, but these kids need people like you. Like I was trying to tell somebody, like when I go to my family's house and stuff, when you're talking to these younger kids, they don't want to hear, sit down and be a good boy. They're like, they don't even understand that vocabulary. It's like, sit your ass down. You know what I mean? Now, you know what I mean? And it's like, and there's this other guy I was following, and he said, I'm a counselor. And he said, you got to talk to them like they on the street sometimes because that's what they recognize. And you got to try to get in tune with the kid because you ain't gonna teach them nothing by handing them a book.
No,
you know what I mean?
You got to be able to speak to the kids, man. You got to speak their language. I tell them all the time.
When I get a lot of hate. Someone said, "Oh, why are you always in black people's business?" And I always said, like, if white and black's a color, I'm light skinned like a motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, this is white, right? My uncle and aunt, right? Like, we grew up on Waldo Street. Like, my uncle Lee Butler, my aunt Lisa Butler, like, they're my blood, and they're black. You know what I mean? And like, so I don't see color. So I said to someone, when I see white is something that comes out of a printer, I was like, this is white. You know what I mean? This paper is white. If this is white, I'm light skinned. You know what I mean? I was like, if white's like a paper, then I'm light skinned. Leave me alone. You know what I mean? Because all my life I grew up in the hood. You know what I mean?
You already know.
I'm hood raised. You know what I mean? Oh, why you act black? I don't act black. If you want to say I act hood, then so be it. And some people can't accept that, but you know what I mean? But yo, coach, thank you. Thank you. Anytime you want to come on. Oh, one thing I wanted to cover, Bishop Hendricken. Shout out to that, man. That's a great gig over there. Yeah, I mean?
Salute to the guys at Bishop Hendricken, man. All the way up from the ups to the bottom, man. The diocese for giving me an opportunity, man. Being who I am and where I'm from, man. Coach Keith Croft, man. He invited me to. I did a couple camps with him. He just saw me working with the kids. After like the second or third camp I did with him, he asked me I want to come coach. Just watching me work with the kid, I was like, oh, awesome opportunity. Shouts out to Coach Keith Croft for the opportunity. My freshman staff, man, Coach Bruce, Coach Matt, and our defensive coordinator, Coach Rack, awesome guys, man. It's just an amazing opportunity, you know.
He ain't dumb. He ain't dumb. Like, he's a businessman. He knows he's building. He's building for the next 10 years. I said it before. He already got 10 years in the books. He's going to go down as being one of the best coaches. And if he wants to go on, he could probably land the job as Salve Regina next. So he could get another 10 years in the books. And you know what? If other schools want to do what Hendricken does, spend some money. Dig in your pockets. Because that's what it takes. You know what I mean? Let these kids do sports programs, educational programs. They're not coming to school for math. I'm sorry, man. They're coming to the sports. You know, the dropout rate in California was like over 1,000 kids because of this COVID-19 and home learning and
no sports.
The pregnancy rate through the roof. Kids are like, they didn't know what to do with themselves. Like, my kid was pulling ice cream trucks across the Pee Wee parking lot. Him and his lineman. You know, like, I got a video. They went like, it was over 10,000 pounds. They went over 30 feet. You know?
That's awesome, man.
But, yo, we got to get up soon. And if anybody ever needs a voice, my platform's uncensored. So if someone has something really strong that they got to speak on, man, I'm here for the community. It's not just football. I want to speak up for the people that don't have a voice.
Next time we link up, I'm bringing my kids, man. We'll set it up. I'll be in a room with all the kids with me, man. I definitely want to let them talk, man. Give them a voice. But thank you, bro, for the opportunity, man. I'm pulling up at the facility. So we are.
All right, man. Yo, good luck. Be safe. Ball out. Don't let them score a point. I want to hear a good score later. But shout out, Coach Nadim, behind the pads, Breaktrough Academy. Thank you, Coach Dunbar. Thank you, Coach. I'll talk to you later, and we'll definitely link up soon.
Thank you, Coach. Later.
All right, bye-bye. Well, there we go. Coach Nadim. Coach Nadim is over there. You know, now he's the assistant over at Bishop Hendricken. You know what I mean? And definitely, you know, shout out to our sponsor, man, Odyssey Group International, the groundbreaking concussion protocol, CTE prevention drug, Prevacil. You can find them at odysseygi.com. We are back, man. Yo, earlier I was talking about West Warwick football. Here's Coach Cato, right? And like I was saying, respectfully, before I end this, I just want to finish this up right quick, right? Coach Cato has been, since 2015 coaching over here in West Warwick. I mean, he really didn't do a great job, you know. Why did West Warwick go against what have worked? I mean, what worked for them was hiring from inside their organization. I mean, West Warwick really had a long history of great coaches throughout the years, and they were all West Warwick people. We'll definitely talk about that coming up on the next Can We Keep It Real podcast. All the music for the Can We Keep It Real podcast, Fed Hill, shout out Fed Hill, Richie Rags, man, rest in peace. Rest in peace to all the fallen brothers and sisters that died unnecessary. Fed Hill just had their 15th annual cookout, you know, and they do that every year, you know, to pretty much celebrate the brothers and sisters that were lost along the way, man. But shout out to Coach Dunbar, definitely. And then we had Coach Robinson come in for a minute. But thank you, Fed Hill. You know what I mean? For giving me the soundtrack, you know, for the opening of this video and the closing of this video. But we'll definitely see you next Sunday. And guess what? Without any friggin' hiccups, man, we out.
It's gone, it's gone. Did you hear that? I go hard in the streets. I'm the heart of the streets.
Let's go, come take a ride through my city life. See what my city's like. It's the city life. For some, it's a shitty life. This is city living. Mostly them city children. From my bedroom, see the lights of them city buildings. Ain't gotta act hard. Private's my backyard. I run road out. You can call me a track star. And we a team, homie. All is one. I don't sleep until all is done. I ain't ruckus, so please don't call me Mr. 401. It's Mr. Rags. You can call me. I'm still in that 401. From where we was, look at all we become. For what it's worth, I put my all in the sun. Know that my city love it. Think I give a fuck about my city's budget, about my city's public. Know how my city does it. Let me handle my city business. Then I ride you outside of them city limits.